wartime love poem, The White Cliff, shows what true love really is. I have loved England dearly and deeply since that first morning, shining and pure, the white cliffs of Dover I saw rising steeply out of a sea that once made her secure. I had no thought then of husband or lover. I was a traveler, the guest of a week. Yet, when they pointed the white cliffs of Dover, startled, I found there were tears on my cheek. It happened the first evening I was there. Someone was giving a ball in Belgrave Square. A light blue carpet on the stairs. Tall young footmen everywhere. Tall young men with English faces, standing rigidly in their places. Rows and rows of them, stiff and staid, in powder and breeches and bright gold braid. I went up the stairs between them all, strange and frightened and shy and small. Someone beside me turned and smiled, and looking at me said, "I fancy about his Australian cousin Nancy. He told me to tell you that he'd be late at the Foreign Office, and not to wait supper for him, but to go with me, and try to behave as if I were he." I should have told him on the spot that I had no cousin, that I was not Australian Nancy, that my name was Susan Dunn, and that I came from a small white town on a deep-cut bay in the tiniest state of the USA. I meant to tell him, but changed my mind. I needed a friend, and he seemed so kind. So I put my gloved hand into his glove, and we danced together and fell in love. John had one of those English faces that always were and will always be found in the cream of English places, till England herself sinks into the sea. A blonde, bowed face with prominent eyes, a little bit bluer than English skies. And still, I did not see that my life was changed, utterly different by this love estranged, forever and ever from my native land. Johnny and I were married. England then had been a week at war, and all the men wore uniform, as English people can, unconscious of it. We went to Devon in a warm summer rain, knowing that our happiness might never come again. I, not forgetting till death us do part, was outrageously happy, with death in my heart. Lovers in peacetime with 50 years to live have time to tease and quarrel and question what to give. But lovers in wartime better understand the fullness of living with death close at hand. I settled down in Devon when Johnny went to France. Such a tame ending to a great romance. Then, out of the dark and dearth of happiness on earth, out of a world inured to death and pain, on a fair spring morn, to me a son was born, and hope was born, the future lived again. John came home on leave, and all was joy and thankfulness to me, because my boy was not a baby only, but the heir to Devon acres, and name as old as England. Somehow, I became almost an Englishwoman, at one with all they ever did, all they had done. Bad news is not broken by kind, tactful words. The message is spoken ere the word can be heard. The eye and the bearing, the breath make it clear, the heart despairing before the ear hear. I do not remember the words that they said. Killed? Do I? November? I knew John was dead. All done and over, that day long ago, the white cliffs of Dover, little did I know. Rabbits in the park, scuttling as we pass, little white tails against the green grass. Next time, Mother, I must really bring my gun. I know you don't like shooting, but John's own son, that blonde, bowed face, those clear, steady eyes. Hard to be sure that the dead don't rise. Later than many, earlier than some, I knew the die was cast. That war must come. That war must come. Night after night I lay steeling a broken heart to face the day when he, my son, would tread the very same path that his father trod. When the day came, I was not steady, not ready. Foolish wild words issued from my lips. My child, my child! Why must you die for England too? He smiled. Is she not worth it if I must? John would have said yes, but John was dead. I must be a stronger critic. I must weigh the ill against the good, must strike the balance till I know the answer, true for me alone.